Okay, guys, and welcome back to War of Trades. We are going to go from zero to $1 million. That's the idea of this channel. How can we learn to trade the stock market, invest wisely, and eventually get to the magical mark of $1 million? And let's start by analyzing the stock market and let's see what's going on. We can start with the general market to see how is the wealth or the health of it. So here we are seeing today that the SPY is down $2 and a half or 0.50% down. Here on the RSI we are still a little bit high, it's 55. You can use also this as a resistance tool, and here you can see what's going on here, guys. Here we are seeing the sellers. We have hit the 50-day moving average, and here you can see we're losing ground. We are losing our buyers. This is why we are seeing a candle like this. This is the daily chart. Let's look at the 5-minute chart. Here you can see it's Monday, and then we had Tuesday. Here you can see we started strong. We started and we bounced off of this 50-day moving average, which is at 385. And here you can see the 200 days moving average, which is usually a good idea to invest into the SPY when we are under. Here you have seen I have put some time ago, I have put this line right here. Excuse me. I have put this line right here, and I have put it here, so at the 320 mark. And here you can see that we had a small little double bottom in November of 2020, and now we are seeing that we are still under this. And here you can see we can put a horizontal line on the 355 mark. Here when we went at this critical line, you can see here we had resistance once, resistance two times. Here in the past, around here we had resistance, and this was a small channel that we were moving. Then we came close to 500, and then we fallen down again. So the stock market looks like at the moment that we're losing ground. Here we had an interesting thing in September. It looked like that we were moving up higher, but it did not happen, sadly. But on the other hand, we have a great opportunity to load up and to get into these lower prices. That's for the SPY. Now let's look at the Nasdaq. The Nasdaq, as you know, the growth stocks. Here you can see resistance at 14,719, and here we have support at 10,000. I have put this line here before at 1,700, but we went a little bit lower. And here you can clearly see the AMCD was down there, and here we have we are we are a bit up. Here is the support or the resistance line. There's the Nasdaq and the US 100. Okay, the Nasdaq, no, that's not the one I was thinking about. This was the index, and let's look now at the VIX. The VIX is falling, which means usually this marks the start of the rebound. If it's going to happen, then we are sure to see a rebound of the market, and that's important. That's a psychological that's a psychological a good psychological thing, yes, to be in. So that's important. That's important for us, and that's important because here you can see that we've seen horizontal line. You can put a horizontal line here, and then a support line here. Here we are seeing a support. So here, without any big interventions or something happening, we can see the VIX falling, and the VIX is interesting for trading when you see the stock market doing crazy stuff, as we have seen in this year 2022 and at the end of 2021, or the second one. So here you can clearly see that we should go lower. Of course, you never know. Then we have individual stocks. Oh, Real was up quite a bit actually in the morning. Oh, Spotify falling down, so they had bad news. Okay, yeah. So their revenue actually their revenue was a surprise of 0.62%, and they had 3 billions of revenue, but they were still not making a profit, and actually they made 16% less than expected. So okay, this is not as good as we would have hoped for, and Spotify is actually really cheap right now. Okay, we have Boeing also had bad results. Okay, interesting, look at this. So the estimate was of about almost earnings 0.132, but it went a surprise at -6, so it was 7,000, oh my god, 4,700% down, and a surprise, they earned 2 billion less of revenue. Interesting. Spirit Aerosystems tightly connected with Boeing, and actually this would be some good levels to enter if you are interested in this stock. They have a dividend, yes, of 1 cent. Okay, nothing. Okay, then we have index falling, we went up and yet again down. Microsoft, okay, they beat the earnings, but the market is still shaky. Footlocker, okay, they have dividend, and actually yes, I sold Footlocker, and this may be some good levels to enter, but with the inflation that's going on right now around the world, I don't know, maybe we could expect a leg down from here. You never know. Okay, Amazon down. Mara is down. Why? Because interesting. So Everything is down. In the morning it looked like prettier than now, I guess. Okay, so almost everything is down. Fubo also down. We're still waiting for these levels that were here. Maybe in the future. Intel, probably a good time to start investing in it. They're expecting an revenue of 15 billions and earnings of 0.3 per share, so it could be interesting, and the dividend is going to be 0.365. The share a little lower than the earnings. We will see. The earnings were okay. Here they were losing money and they got short of 2 billions. Okay, so this is probably why we have fallen so much. PayPal, okay, nothing happening here. We have a channel here, a channel here, so we're moving somewhere here. Activision, okay. I remember I held this stock and I remember that it was at hip and somewhere out here I sold it. I was buying it here as it fell because there was no reason for it to fall so much. Honest company, from all we know from Jeremy. Have bad results, okay, but I guess they're improving their revenue, so maybe they will survive. We will see. Palantir, one of the great ones. Okay, we had a great run this morning. We went to $9 and then we fell down. Okay, something had to happen in the meantime. Okay, let's see on my list who is the highest. Okay, BNGO. BNGO is the fastest growing company. Okay, what happened with Sierra? I was short on that. Okay, this were all the stocks that I was short. LGBN. Okay, it fell greatly. Okay, Ethereum is up a little bit on the RSI, a little bit high. If we look from the past, we could still see some more running because here we have some big candles and here you can see a trend going on. If you look at the line, you can see it like this. It's an area. You can see it is moving. Okay, interesting to see, but here we are coming to a resistance. Interesting move on the euro and US dollar. So the euro is gaining strength. Ethereum, yes, similar to euro. This big inflection point here, you can see if we're looking at the RSI, we are hitting a resistance here at the moment, so I'm not expecting it to go much further. And here we have some resistance at this mark on 1700, around 1700. Okay, interesting to see. The euro is gaining, but the RSI is still high. Let's look at Bitcoin. Bitcoin had, you can see here, we were moving in this channel and here we had a lot of fear. It was the previous high. So, and here we have a 25,000 it's the new resistance. And remember, now that all the hedge funds are in, it's harder to expect a big move as we have seen in the past. Not impossible, but a little harder. Doge, okay, a great move. You can see a fall, and it will be interesting to see if it's going to hold. Here you can see the RSI is still high, so we could assume that it couldn't gain much more. Here we have a resistance from the past, which is around 0.77. Here you see the 200-day moving average, which is a resistance point. It's going to be interesting to see. Here on the MASD we are in the black for now. So hope you found this video interesting. In the future we're going to talk about trading psychology. We're going to talk about every other interesting things. Okay, but let's look at Dogecoin Sprint. Dogecoin sprints north as Musk pledges to close Twitter acquisition deal by Friday. $1 Doge coming? Interesting. After stagnating for weeks, Dogecoin sprung on Tuesday, surging by almost 15% after the news that Elon Musk was planning on closing the Twitter deal before the end of the week hit airways. Okay. Sprints north is the news also enthused Dogecoin adherents, sending price to the roof after weeks of lackluster volatility. What's going to happen? We will see in the next video. So hope you enjoyed the video, guys, and all the best. Let's go to the $1 million mark. Stay safe.